Hi, everyone. Neptune just went retrograde last Tuesday, making a total of 6 planets in retrograde until Thursday when Venus went direct, leaving us with 5 retrograde planets. Now, where does all that retrograde energy mean for us? Well, mainly it's a time to slow down and reflect. When you hear retrograde planets, think of words that begin with RE. It's a time to rethink, reassess, reconsider. Neptune energy is also an odd energy. On the one hand, it can confuse us and delude us, making us feel more stuck than ever. Yay. Yet at the same time, it can bring profound insights from our subconscious and higher self. A lot of the retrograde action is around boundaries these days. Saturn is the planet of limits and boundaries, and Jupiter loves to exceed those limits and boundaries in its expansiveness. Neptune, on the other hand, dissolves boundaries. So there are two types of boundaries in particular that Neptune likes to dissolve: the boundaries between the self and others, and the boundaries between what we're conscious of as part of our identities and what we're unconscious of. In coaching, we often talk about limiting beliefs, our subconscious beliefs that are driving us even though we're not aware of them. That's a part of this. Now, when boundaries between self and others dissolve, we feel a connection with all humanity, with all of life. And when we expose those aspects of who we are that we're unconscious of, we can acknowledge and then work to release that which no longer fits into who we want to be. While my coaching practice focuses on personal transformation, I'm reminded of the social and political aspect of astrological transits. We've already seen Pluto in Capricorn structure smashing energy at work on old structures that no longer serve us. This has been going on since it conjuncted Saturn in January, ushering in a difficult period of deconstruction that also includes the potential for growth and transformation. It isn't over yet, not by a long shot. While it will be most intense from July through December, the work we do now as individuals, as a society, will influence the next 20 years at the very least. I did say that this has been going on since January, when for the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto, but it's actually been going on longer. We've had a lot of action in Saturn that's about deconstructing structures that no longer serve us. So just for a moment, I'd like to speak specifically to the Black Lives Matter movement, because Neptune energy can play a powerful role in helping to heal the racism and prejudice that Pluto exposed. With a feeling of oneness with all humanity, that's one part of that Neptune energy, we're motivated to overcome that which divides us. And then with the insight into hidden aspects of our consciousness, we can begin to understand things that have been hidden from our consciousness, such as white privilege and the institutionalized component of racism. Unfortunately, just because we can doesn't mean we will. Astrology describes potential, but free will has the last word. Now, Saturn is making its way back into Capricorn, where on July 1st, it will rejoin the conjunction of Pluto and Jupiter that's already in Capricorn. This triple conjunction is of 3 heavy-hitting planets in Capricorn, will be influencing us for the rest of the year. Pretty much the rest of the year. As I mentioned previously, Capricorn's energy can be difficult, but the hard work and persistence that it calls for can also lead to great accomplishment. It's not my intention to get into the triple conjunction here, but I wanted to give some context as to why it's so important to take advantage of this retrograde energy and reflect so we can approach the rest of the year thoughtfully. Neptune's involved in this triple conjunction by virtue of the fact that it's currently sextile Jupiter and Pluto. That means that Neptunian energy is a part of everything that's going on. So that also means that Neptune's insights can be a powerful game changer as we reveal limiting beliefs and receive guidance from our guides and essential self. It can be a time of spiritual growth as well. Neptune is plugged into that spiritual aspect. Sometimes growth can be scary and uncomfortable. When the boundaries between our subconscious dissolve, we're challenged to reconsider who we really are. In coaching, we talk about the difference between the social self and the essential self. That's also a little bit of Martha Beck speak there. The social self is what we've been conditioned to believe about ourselves, and the essential self may be, in fact, quite different. That's who we are at our core, or who we're meant to be if we can release the stranglehold that the social self often has on us. Now, this process can be really confusing, and sometimes we're no longer sure who we really are. The danger here is that the discomfort and uncertainty regarding our identity could lead to escapist behavior, which could range from TV binging to workaholism to alcohol or even substance abuse. So let's talk a little bit about how we can take advantage of Neptune's energy so that we can express its positive qualities and avoid losing ourselves in the shadows. Now, an astrological coach like me will look at your birth chart and tell you specifically what areas of your life are being impacted and how. But if you don't have access to a coach, you can still commune with Neptune. And here are 3 strategies that work really well. So 1, go out into nature. And bonus points if there's water nearby. Neptune, after all, was the ancient Roman god of the ocean, of the sea. Also, you could lose yourself in a piece of music. I think many people would understand that music can transport us to different mindsets, to different states of consciousness. So it's a great technique for connecting with Neptune energy. And then finally, there's meditation. I talk about meditation a lot in other places with resources on how you can get started. The empirical research on the benefits of meditation are so vast. I mean, literally pages, and they're adding more all the time. So meditate is a wonderful technique that you can do. In addition, I've got some self-coaching exercises that you can do for Neptunian times. And if you don't want to take notes and stop and play all the time, I have prepared a worksheet with these activities as a bonus for signing up for my newsletter. So if you don't want to take notes and you want access to the worksheet with these 3 activities, head on over to debperetz.com/Neptune. I'll put the link in the notes of this video, so if you didn't get that. Now go ahead and sign up, get your copy, and if you're already signed up for my newsletter, you'll still receive this bonus when you fill in the sign-up form. Okay, so here are the 3 coaching strategies. The first one is simply to surrender to Source. Neptune's also about letting go, letting God. Whatever your conception of divine order is, sometimes we just need to give up trying to control and solve and instead trust universal love to lead where we need to go. The next technique is to keep a dream journal. During Neptune events, we can get valuable messages from our guides and from our subconscious via dreams. Find a coach who specializes in dream analysis, or you can do it yourself. I'll post a link below to a free course on analyzing dreams from Kurt Leland, which I find this course to be really valuable, and he offers it for free. The third and final technique I want to share with you today is journaling. Journaling is one of the most powerful personal development techniques we have. When it's done well, it engages both the right and left hemispheres of the brain, allowing us to access wisdom and insight that otherwise eludes us. There is a growing body of empirical evidence about the therapeutic benefits of journaling, but I still think it's magic. Here are some journal prompts for Neptunian times, and this is adapted from the work of Tracy Marks in her fabulous book, The Astrology of Self-Discovery. So 3 prompts. The first one's kind of longish because a lot of questions put together. What are you feeling confused about right now? What significant issue are you struggling to resolve because of that confusion? Could this confusion be distracting you from some other issue that you're avoiding? And if so, what's that issue? What stories do you tell yourself that keep you confused? All right, that's one long journal prompt. And then a second journal prompt is there an unrealistic fantasy blocking you from resolving this issue? What might you have to let go of in order to move on? Neptunian energy often has this sense of letting go, that which is no longer a part of you, but sometimes that letting go is hard. So think about that and journal about it. And finally, the third prompt is, what is your true dream and what's really blocking you from achieving it? Do you ever even know what you really want? So the sweet spot for journaling, or the trick, is to not let your inner editor or inner critic interfere with the journaling. So set a timer and give yourself 15 minutes for each prompt and just write without stopping. And if you don't know what to write or what to say, that's what you write. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. The timer's going on. I don't know what to say about what my true dream is. Maybe it's this. And then eventually it'll get going. But that continuous writing, journaling, is key. It's kind of like in those old buildings when you turn on the water tap and at first there's some brown water coming out, but as the water flows, then it becomes clear. That's what we're getting at with the journaling. Get out that brown stuff first until it gets clear, and you get the insight. So again, if you want the worksheets that have these prompts and strategies, head on over to debperetz.com/Neptune and or look at the link below. And I hope you found this helpful. I'd love to see any comments you have. Just put them below. And I will see you next video or see you around in the group. I will be very active in the ABC coaching group from now on. That's my commitment to you. So have a great weekend, everyone.